Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and this is coming to you from my home here in Cave Junction, Oregon. Tonight I'm going to give you a healthy dose of truth. It's entitled, Screw the New World Order. As is quite apparent to most of you who read my spiritual and political writings on the internet, news groups and forums, that I do not reach out to others for either friendship or fellowship. Why, you may ask? Because truth indeed does and must stand alone, as it is holistic, indivisible, and not subject to interpretation. Although the direct perception of truth is available to all, it is chosen by few. The civilized world of mankind is under the satanic woven spell which confuses, confounds, and reduces men into slaves who are ruled through unhealthy egos based in dualistic, opposing thought. The effects upon such satanically spell-bound civilized men and women via its warring essence leaves no question to the spiritually sighted that the average man is without question a divided, confused, self-doubting, and fearful human being, despite the masks that he wears in public. The evidence of such hellish state of consciousness is unmistakable to all. Yet the ignorant and the stupid will merely sidestep such irrefutable evidence by blaming it upon another, and not see that in the world of holistic truth, he or she is the other. That self-protecting shell is what accounts for the events of the day. Check out the headlines in your local newspapers and your TV broadcasts. See it for yourselves. Each of you, in your ignorance and fear, support such hell on earth. Belief and support of such graven images reduces the whole man, one who is possessed of Christ consciousness, into groveling minions dedicated to satanic servitude, all through the psychological medium of their own misguided, conditioned intellects through consent and contracts. The satanic spirit operates only through seduction, invitation, and the threat of force and fear. The two main satanic institutions responsible for such psychological manipulation is government and religion, with its propaganda arm being that of mainstream media. The simple truth of that statement is all around us, sitting there in plain view for all to see. But the satanic-ruled man remains blind to it. Spiritual man sees, while blind satanic minions compensate for their spiritual blindness by thinking, a satanic intellectual mechanism. Such compensatory pride prevents the average man from seeing the simple truth about himself and his world, for he is geared toward conditioned complexity, and so adopts the veil of pretense, thereby separating himself from the direct perception of truth, while he worships fantasy, myth, superstition, and pure nonsense. the state of spiritual ignorance, is accomplished through the satanic, lazy man's truth, that of belief. That is when the backward fantasy, based in images, takes over the politically and religiously correct consciousness of the spiritual blind, and accounts for the collective insanity that such silly, stupid human beings have adopted as their collective reality. You will note the truth of these statements are not conducive to seducing and manipulating individuals through complimenting them and their abilities to worship fantasy, the mainstay of every satanically ruled civilized society. It usually stuns most people into silence and fear, or it brings on attacks by paid satanic disinformation agents who make their way in the world through intimidation, threat, and libelous campaigns, all the while hiding behind fictitious aliases, as they cannot afford to be identified due to the inevitable backlash of their exposed deceptions. I'm not here to befriend stupid people, for they have already chosen their own fate. I'm here to assist those who know there is something wrong with the way that civilized men and women live their lives, and who desire to bring about a change in their own personal lives and in the world in which they live. I do not have conversations with God, an anthropomorphized, fictitious, projected intellectual image designed to entrap one further into an ever-shrinking prison cell of divided intellect. My connection is with infinite intelligence, truth itself, that which is truly God. God is truth. Truth is God. It really can't become any simpler than that. How many of you have an intimate relationship with truth? How many of you are ruled by fantasy? Now you know why I do not seek friends, but merely present truth to those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. I have brought you to the brink, to drink of the waters of truth. Are you thirsty? Will you drink? It's all up to you, each of you. It has always been so, and it shall always be so in the future. For truth is eternal, as you all are. The only thing which is not eternal about you are the silly thoughts that you harbor because you have consented to your own ignorance. That is a simple message that I bring to you tonight. It may feel uncomfortable, but listen to this video over and over again until you understand, until you feel the vibratory essence of truth, which has backed up the words that are spoken.